Take a look at Spokane, Washington. Like many growing cities, its neighborhoods push right up against vast stretches of dense pine forest. This boundary is known as the wildland-urban interface. In early August, that boundary ignited. Driven by steep terrain, dry vegetation, and relentless winds, the old trails, Fairview, and Meadowview fires rapidly advanced toward populated areas. The immediate result was a mass exodus. Approximately 60,000 residents had to drop everything and evacuate to safety. Flames tore through the area, damaging or destroying more than 600 structures. Hundreds of displaced residents ended up taking shelter on emergency cots inside the local convention center. Extreme fire weather in a developed area instantly weaponizes a city's own infrastructure, triggering a series of failures that test every interconnected system keeping the community alive. The first critical system to buckle is usually the electrical grid. High-voltage power lines are highly exposed to intense winds and encroaching flames. Utilities face an impossible choice during a fire. Energized lines risk sparking new fires in heavy winds, but de-energizing the grid severs the community's lifeline when they need it most. Around Spokane, preventative shutoffs and direct damage left roughly 10,000 residents in the dark. Once the fire passes, restoring service isn't just flipping a switch. The physical infrastructure itself is often scorched and severely compromised. Without electricity, a city loses the invisible foundation that supports water pumping, communication networks fail, and basic modern survival. That blackout immediately endangers the medically vulnerable. People relying on home medical equipment lose their life support. Pharmacies and clinics lose the refrigeration required to store temperature-sensitive medicines. At the exact same time, the physical flames threaten the hospitals themselves, forcing doctors to stop treating patients and start moving them. In Spokane, officials had to urgently evacuate patients from a local Veterans Affairs hospital as the fire lines encroached on populated areas. The community's healthcare infrastructure collapses at the precise moment a natural disaster creates the highest possible demand for medical help. Wind and heat carry the disaster's reach far beyond the actual burn zone, pushing the crisis into the upper atmosphere. Satellite observations tracked massive smoke plumes blowing out of the Pacific Northwest, pushing all the way through the Rockies and toward the plains. This diagram illustrates the secondary health crisis. Fine particulate matter from wildfire smoke is so small it bypasses our physical defenses, aggravating asthma and cardiovascular conditions. For the surrounding urban centers, the sky turns a thick, hazy orange, and the outside air becomes toxic to breathe. That toxicity forces employers to suspend outdoor schedules. Schools are closed, outdoor events are canceled, and residents must stay inside. By weaponizing the atmosphere, the fire effectively shuts down an entire regional economy, even in areas where nothing is burning. Despite the scale of the disruption in Spokane, the combined efforts of over 900 firefighters and well-executed mass evacuations meant authorities reported 0 deaths or injuries. Yet the community is left with deep scars on its infrastructure. Restoring the power grid and medical supply chains while rebuilding 600 structures represents a long, expensive recovery. This graph shows U.S. wildfire acreage burned over 10 years, spiking aggressively above the historical average. Such regional collapses are becoming a standard challenge. By early August, the U.S. battled 99 active fires simultaneously, driven by extreme heat, severe drought, and El Niño patterns. Surviving these events now requires fire-hardening every layer of civic infrastructure, from the electrical grid to the medical supply chain, because simply putting out the flames is no longer enough to protect a community.